Hey, what's up, guys? Austin back here, another video. A lot of y'all seen my posts on Facebook from me and Josh fishing and stuff. A lot of y'all seen me and Jacob Turner fishing last night, and I posted it this morning. Everybody's asking me, "Whoa, how'd you catch that big Kentucky?" Well, it wasn't that big Kentucky. It was two Kentuckys. One was yesterday night and was in a total different area, and then the other one was the day before in a total different area. Now, one of them Kentuckys I caught 3 times. I will admit, I got 3 different pictures of it. I only posted one. Now, he was on a bed, the one I caught. I caught it on a rig, and don't you laugh at me either. We threw crawls, creatures, turds, shaky heads, worms, Texas rigs, jigs, tubes, you name it that you'd basically throw at a bed this time of year, we threw it. We tried white, pink, chartreuse, natural colors, everything. That fish did not want it. I gave up on the fish. So Josh said, just pick up that A-rig. So I pick it up, I make me a roll cast out there past the bed, I'm just reeling it, trying to catch me nothing from up deep. Well, next thing I know, all I see is this, that fish with swirls on it, and I'm just like, okay, so this is going to happen. I go right back up there, flip in there, just barely reel it through there, and he hits it, spits it right back out. I pitch in there again. He hits it. When he does, I set the hook. I was using his rod, so I didn't want to set the hook too hard and break his rod. But ended up, got it in. It was like 3 pounds, 6 ounce. Well, I said, Josh, I can catch that fish again. He said, no, you can't. So, literally not even 10 minutes after that, I pitch in there again with the A-rig. Nothing. And I'm just like, oh God, is this fish not going to hit again? This will be the first one I've caught off of a bed that won't hit again. Well, I just roll outside of the bed, like here's the bed. I roll my E-rig like way out here. And that fish, I saw him come, he went, and then he just inhaled it like powerful. That time, he had 3 hooks in him. The first time he had 1, the second time he had 3, and the third time we gave him a break for about 2 hours, came back, he had 2 hooks in him. And I don't understand. But he did hit an A-rig. First time I've ever heard of it being done. Bed fishing with an Alabama rig. I would never have thought it. But you can ask Josh Adams. He done it. I don't know what it was. I guess it was a big threat to him. All them blades turning. I don't know what it was. Okay. Well, last night, me and Jacob Turner went. Big shout out to that hoss cat. I was beating him. I was beating his tail pretty good. I'm gonna admit that. But we was just trash talking. We didn't care who won or anything. We was just fishing the fun fish. Well, ended up, he said, yeah, I'm going to put in one so big you won't even know how to net it. About that time, he sets the hook on one, and almost like, is it good? And he said, yeah, get the net. I get the net, and I think his Kentucky was bigger than the one I caught. I think his Kentucky is about two or 3 ounces bigger. He had a big Kentucky. That bass that I posted on Facebook, them 6, 3 of them was mine and 3 of them was Jacob's. He got his picture at all 6 of them, and we don't claim all 6 fish like, hey, I caught all 6 fish. No, that ain't how you do it. I caught 3, Jacob caught 3. We rocked and rolled it that night. We had a total of about 13 fish. We got the bites we needed. If I would have capitalized, I had probably an 18, 19-inch largemouth get off, and that was my fault. I got excited and fought the fish wrong. And But it was a good night. Me and him both had fun. We're going to plan another trip soon. We had a total of probably 12, 13 pounds last night. And that is like killing it. Like flat out killing it on Laurel. How they are biting right now. Last week, I think it took like 5, 6 pounds to win a tournament. And me and Josh, we would have had that locked up too. So I need to get my hind end in a tournament. What am I doing, fellas? But if we would have fished 2 tournaments, we'd have won first place. Hands down, we had the fish and everything. But that is days afterward, a couple days afterward. So I don't know, but I did get a new addition. It's not going to be in the arsenal long, but there's a guy at the ramp, and he was talking about, well, I asked him if he had any Tatulas. He said no. I said, here, pick up this, and he picks up my Elite, throws it a couple of times. He really likes it. Well, I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to get rid of it. I kind of like my SVs a whole lot better, and I like my 100s better. Well, he says, what would you trade to it? And I'm just like, what you got? He picks up a Dobbins and something. A Dobbins and a Lewis, I think, or a Dobbins and Abu. I'm just like, no. Well, I'm just like, what's that white rod there? White and red, and I know it's a Ducket, but which one? Well, this same exact rod I got my junior year from Noah Creech. This same exact rod and the same exact reel I got from Danny Jones. This is us a faster year ratio. This rod and reel was my baby junior year. I got rid of it, but it's actually a little story behind them. Well, we was fishing Green River, and Sam, he was hung up. My partner, Austin Kirby, in the back, he was hung up. So I'm handing Sam a knocker. I'm handing Kirby a knocker. And I just lay my rod down on the front deck. You know, it's just sitting there like that. Don't think no more about it. I got a spinnerbait on it. Well, it ends up getting hung up. Well, my rod, it goes, shoop, shoop. It goes out of the boat into the lake. And all you see is the butt end just start going like that. Well, I'm just like, oh my gosh, Dad's going to kill me. I just lost a $300 combo. Well, Sam, he takes a spoon, throws out there, and no joke, hooks it in this eye, the first eye. And those is micro guides. The reason why I did get rid of my Ducket, it wasn't because of that. We did get it out of the lake, thank goodness. But I'm bad for reeling down to a bait and knocking it loose. My tip, the guide of my tip right there, it never would stay in. I glued it and glued it and glued it, and it knocked out. I got rid of it, and then the Corrado I had, I loved it, but I got rid of it because it was only a 5 to 1 gear ratio, and I was getting them big smallmouth run to the boat, and I could only reel so fast. It was a cranking rod and reel. I didn't know much. I was using it as a multi-purpose, literally everything, a jig, a spinnerbait, a chatterbait, you name it, it was on that rod at some point, just about, beside an A-rig. This here is a 6:3 to 1 gear ratio, Shimano Corrado 200i. This here is the first Shimano reel I owned that was high up. It used to retail for $179.99. I think that was back in like 2012, maybe 2014. I think it's 2014 is when they came out. I remember looking at them for weeks and months at a time in Bass Pro catalogs I used to get. And I'm just like, yep, one day I'm going to own that reel. Well, that there makes the 4th Corrado 200 I've owned. I've owned a lot of different Shimano reels. It's very few I haven't owned between the Caius price point and a Metanium price point. I've owned a Caius, a Canaan, Sitka, Corrado, Chronarch. I've owned 2 different Chronarchs. I've owned several different Corrados. And then I got that Metanium. The only two I can think of I ain't had within that price point is a Scorpion and Bantam. I've never had a Bantam. I've heard a lot of good things about them. I just don't like how they feel in their hand. They feel big, they feel bulky, they feel heavy. No. I like a low profile reel that's going to sit on my rod good. Okay, couple other things. My rain jacket has not came yet. It says it's supposed to be here yesterday. I think it'll be here today, if not tomorrow. I ain't really worried about it. It's Bass Pro. I've always got stuff from them, and they've been good about shipping. And another little thing I bought for $20 at Saddlebrook. It is a Do-It mold round head jig. I do not have this in my jig molds. I found it, I liked it. It's just one thing I don't like, and it's the keeper it's going to be on it. I can always just use it as like a Ned rig head. I know it ain't flat, it's a round ball, but it still work. They are in a 3/16. I throw like a shaky head on it probably. Kind of like a Ned rig if I'm fishing a pond. I do a lot of different stuff with this head. So I picked that mold up, $20. I can also start making jigs. I can start buying skirts, $1 a piece, pour my lead, sell them. But I'm not going to do that. If I do it, it's going to be personal use, and it's just going to be swim jigs. I don't swim a jig though, so I probably won't do that. But anyway, I'm at 12 minutes, and I ain't even went over what I was going to go over in this video. I'm not sure of the title, but I'm going to quit yapping and show you the beans. But people's been talking about how you've been catching these big Kentuckys here as of late. I have friends texting me for advice. I'm not that good a fisherman. I just try not to give up. If you see one on a bed, flip. If they're not noticing it, pick up a different color, flip it in there. Pick up a different bait, flip it in there. Worry about making the cast and worry about getting the fish out later. That's my philosophy. Big shout out to Gage Griffin for teaching me that last year. I was scared I was going to get hung up on Cumberland. He said, buddy, we're all going to get hung up. We're fishing brush. He said, worry about making the cast and worry about getting the fish out later. So that's what I've done. Ever since then, I've been catching more fish, bigger fish, and just been having a whole lot more fun. But here is something I've done. 1, 2, 3. So this here, you can ask about anybody. They would rather you bring a whole big bunch of tackle on their boat than for you to have to ask them for everything. I asked Jacob last night, I said, hey buddy, I got a lot of tackle. Soft plastics I'll probably end up using. He said, buddy, that's cool. I'd rather you bring your whole boat load with you than to have to ask for crap. And end up, we fished and fished. He asked for a jig. He used a jig. I didn't care. I think I borrowed one crawl from him, and that's it. I absolutely despise people that will come on another man's boat unprepared. They're just like, well, I didn't want to have all this tackle, buddy. I don't care. Bring what you need. Bring what you think you need. And as long as you can keep it to a bare minimum of asking, I don't care. Now, if you need a jig, a topwater, or A-rig, go for it. It's in my box. But if you literally need a crankbait, a jerkbait, a spinnerbait, chatterbait, a A-rig, a Rico, a spook, a pack of plastics, like, buddy, you say you fish. Why don't you have all this gear with you? You're setting up knowing what time of year it is, and you ain't prepared for it. I'm sorry, but that's just how it goes. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. You all have heard me talk and talk and talk about swim baits. Swim bait, swim bait, swim bait. I couldn't get a bite on a swim bait. I fished it hard for 2 days. Couldn't get a fish on it. I did catch one on an A-rig. Josh had some on an A-rig. That's it. An individual swim bait, I can't get a bite on. Now, I'm not saying that you can't go and wreck them on a swim bait. I'm saying that I couldn't get a bite on them. What I've been focusing on is right here. I've been focusing on this right here. That is a Zoom Finesse Worm in green pumpkin. It is a 4.5 inch. I've been floating the worm. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been floating that worm hard, and I do mean hard. Either that or this right here. You hear me talk about it a lot. Copper Truce TRD. I'm not gonna lie to you. That there is what I've been focusing on. That there is what's been putting fish in the boat for me. We did have some hit top water the other night, well, last night. But, again, they ain't wanting it. It's just like they come up and just barely nip it. You throw that floating worm or a TRD in there and they just kill it. So, you will lose fish on it. I've lost more fish on a certain rod within the little time I've had it than the whole season I've been fishing this year. And, but I am going to say this. Me and Jacob Turner, me and him put the smack down on him last night. Me and him, we worked well as a team. I will give us that. Because we wasn't just like, well, you want to fish here? Yeah. We actually talked about it and discussed it and seen what the other thought. Just like we went in the creek. He said, hey, you want to go on back? And I was like, yeah, I have a feeling back here. Well, we went back there and we had 4 keepers in the well. Yeah, 4 keepers in the well in one hollow. In about 30 minutes time, we had 4 keepers in the box. It seems like when you get your 4th keeper, it's always hard for me to get that 5th. Well, we fished for probably 2 hours trying to find that 5th. It's hard. Well, ended up, he sets the hook, and it's our 5th keeper. Well, we go to another spot that's set up totally different than what we had been fishing. Where it's like, hey, this here, we may actually catch us a good kicker. So we run up there. He misses one on top water. I fire out there, and I lose that 19-inch largemouth. Well, I ain't gonna say it's 19 inches. I think it's 17 to 19 just by how he looked when he jumped. But anyway, my floating worm rod is my Ned rig rod, and it is a 610 medium light Dixie Custom. I did put my Tatula on here instead of my Stratic, and right now I got that Copper Truce TRD on there. But I've lost more fish on this rod than I have all season long. If I haven't lost 10 fish on this rod within the 2 weeks I've had it, then I ain't been fishing. And I've been fishing hard. I've been having hookups, some little, some big. Me and Josh was fishing the other evening down there at Laurel, and I lost a hog. I don't know what it is. I guess I'm scared to set the hook on it because I'm using 4-pound line on there, and my hook set on this is literally like this. I'll feel him, and then I'll just go like that. Well, I know you're saying, wow, Austin, no wonder you're losing fish. You're setting up baby in them. Well, that 4-pound line, you gotta be careful because it's like dental floss. If I set up and jack their jaw like I do a jig, I'm popping that line. So, it's good, it's bad. I do get more bites on lighter line, but it is a struggle. But I guess that's it. That's kind of how I've been catching them. But I did get some rambling. Did talk to y'all about kind of how to fish in our man's boat this time of year. How to not aggravate him. How to have him invite you back. And that's simply by going out there, having what you need, and kicking tail. If you go out there, show a man you know how to fish, he's going to want you back. Because even in a tournament situation, you really think he's going to have you out there or be like, hey man, you want to fish a tournament? No. You are going to be on the bottom of his list. In a tournament, people need somebody that they can depend on, that they're just like, hey, I know if I do this and he's going to think ahead. I know me and him works good together. We're a team. And that's what it takes to win a tournament. You can't go in it just like, oh man, I got this. I'm just picking any other partner. No. It's times that you need your partner to be wrecking them. Just like Jacob, we talked, and he fishes with another boy. He fishes for South. He is really good. Well, ends up, Jacob, he is talking about how well they work together. That they work as a team. I feel like me and Jacob has the same chemistry. Me and Josh has the same chemistry. And that's what it takes. I wouldn't fish with somebody that's just like, hey, we're running here, we're running there. Because it don't do you no good. Now, somebody that actually talks to you, be like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about going here? You think it's going to be good? You think it's going to be bad? That's what it takes. 2 is harder to beat than 1. So, that's my little tip, my little trick. What else is there? I guess that's it. I guess I'm just going to show you my... it ain't new, but I did put some new tape on it, and it is awesome. I did put my Stratic on it. I got to put new line on here. That there's my 7'6" medium light Dixie Custom, and it is awesome. I would like to have another one of these rods because I don't lose near as many fish. My tip, I actually have a good tip on here that will fight the fish for me. I mean, look at that. As soon as I go a set back, that hook goes whoop. Well, that rod goes whoop, and that hook goes jump. So, that's all I can tell y'all. Float you a worm, throw you a TRD, throw a A-rig. You may catch one cranking. I ain't cranked here lately. There, when I didn't get a bite on a crank, I stopped. I ain't caught a single fish on jerkbait all year. I ain't caught a single fish on spinnerbait all year. But nonetheless, thank y'all for watching this. Be sure to check out Kurt Singer, Sunrise Outfitters, Tackle Spot, Dog Patch, Saddlebrook. And as always, give God all the glory. Be safe, have fun, and have a good day. I'm out.